We're sitting with the man that has been teammates with Clayton Kershaw longer than any player on this roster, and that's the one and only Kiké Hernández, who is starting in left field today behind Kershaw. Thanks a lot for the time.
Yeah, you're welcome. I didn't really get a choice, so yeah.
You know you want to spend more quality time with me.
No, I'm doing this for Kersh, not for you. But yes,
Yeah.
Whatever you need.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
And it's great to have you in the starting lineup behind Kershaw. You obviously are aware that he's only 8 strikeouts away from 3,000. What has he meant to you as a teammate?
I think Kersh has been an inspiration. You know, I got here a lot of strikeouts ago, and when I got here, he was in the midst of one of the greatest runs a pitcher has ever put together. And if you didn't know the name, if you weren't aware of who he was, what he had done in the game, and you just observed the way that he handled his business and the way that he worked and his routine and all that, you would think that he'd be a guy that wasn't even established in the big leagues, you know, a guy that was hungry, a guy doing whatever it took to stay at the big league level. He worked harder than anybody in that locker room. You never saw him just sitting in his locker. He was always doing something, and you know, for him to do that, you know, coming off an MVP season, his 3rd Cy Young, and he was, I would say, the best way to, if I had to describe it in one word, it was a perfectionist.
How would you describe the way your friendship, your relationship with him has grown since 2015?
It's grown a lot. I mean, he, with my personality, it's not easy to be around pitchers that you can't necessarily talk to on start day. So we butt heads a few times the first couple of years, but no, man. You know, he's. We can't be more different, but we're very similar at the same time when it comes to baseball and all these things. So, you know, I see Kersh as a great example for a lot of things. You know, leading the pitching staff, leading by example in the locker room, a great family man, great dad. You know, Kersh is one of those guys that is, if you had to show your kids how to handle themselves, you show them Kersh.
When you look at him, even though you're a position player, do you feel like he sets the tone for everybody else to raise their level of work ethic?
Yeah, that's exactly where I was trying to get at the first question. You know, a guy that has done that much and he's still working that hard, it pushes you, it inspires you to work harder and keep trying to improve your game. And of course, he's a very different pitcher than when I first got to this team. But if it wasn't for his work ethic and his dedication and his desire to be better each and every day, the evolution of Clayton, not just as a guy but as a pitcher, has been incredible. And you know, to still be out there and his stuff is a lot different, you'd say, than 10 years ago. He's got new pitches, but you know, and he still goes out there and manages to keep him off the board, scoring runs. You know, it's really impressive, and you know, every time I hear that song at Dodger Stadium, it puts me in a better mood, and it just, maybe it's a coincidence, but some of my better games as a Dodger have been behind Clayton.
Is that for everybody? Does it raise the level of focus and intensity when you play behind him?
Yeah. I mean, whenever you have those guys on the mound, you want to be great for them, behind them, and especially guys that pound the strike zone the way that he does. He gets a lot of early contact. Guys are trying to get out of the batter's box as soon as they can so that they don't strike out. He has the curveball, he has the slider, he has the fastball. So guys don't want to get to 2 strikes with him. So a lot of guys swing early, and he manufactures a lot of weak contact because he throws a lot of pitches off the strike zone that look like strikes, and guys are you know, being too aggressive because they don't want to get to 2 strikes, and he gets a lot of early contact. So he keeps you active, you know, on the defensive side. He never puts you on your heels by, you know, just walking the house or anything like that. And of course, he's Clayton Kershaw, so you just want to make the plays for him, and I've been fortunate enough to play behind him a lot and make a lot of really nice plays for him.
Kike, he said that Freddie Freeman has made him aware as he gets closer to 3,000 strikeouts. How aware, and how much do you think he's aware going into today and fighting against trying to chase those strikeouts?
He knows. He's very aware. You know, Clayton, he's a very self-aware person. He always knows what he needs to do. He's he's I know for a fact he's aware because we had a conversation about him potentially flying some of his former catchers for the day that he could get the 3,000 strikeout. In a perfect world, he does it at home, but I honestly would love to be behind him when he gets that 3,000 strikeout, and if he can do it today, that'd be amazing. That way we can just get it out of the way and focus on just the rest of the season. But yeah, he's aware, and he's joked around, like he's like, what if I'm sitting at 999 and I want to get that last strikeout on a heater and I try to overthrow it and he never get that strikeout, but he's going to get that strikeout, and it doesn't really matter what pitch he uses, because the only pitch that would not be an iconic strikeout would be the split, just because he hasn't had that of his 3,000. Not many of them have been on a split, but either way, 3,000 strikeout is a lot of strikeouts, and that's why not many pitchers have done it. And it's always special when you get to be a small part of history.
Yeah, it's awesome that you're here for it. It's awesome that you're in the starting lineup playing behind Kershaw, and hopefully whenever he gets that 3,000 strikeout, you'll be there behind him as well. Thanks a lot for the time.
Amazing. If I'm behind the plate or behind him on the field and you're doing television, like, that's wow, unbelievable, huh?
Another great moment in Denver.
Another great moment in Denver.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
There he is, Kiké Hernández. Don't let him fool you. Intense, focused, ready to go.